when I concentrated on the business grew. I was able to expand Lynx horizontally. I always said that when Lynx started, we shot up vertically. Do you get me? We were a group of young people with talent, and then over a period of like 3 to 6 months, we became one of the loudest companies in the country. But the company itself wasn't strong yet. So when I took a step back, I could actually manage things properly and make sure that the company now became strong to be able to diversify and go into different areas and grow the company itself. That brought more success. So it was a very good choice.
So after how many years how many years have you been hanging the microphone?
Oh, I think since 2012.
I see.
7 years.
I see. Do you miss the stage sometimes?
Of course I miss the stage. But I think what I'm doing right now is more of a worthy cause. I think everyone was called for something. So as much as I may have been given different talents, I think this is my calling.
I see. Now, have you in any way given that experience you got on the stage as a musician to the artists you sign?
Oh, every artist we train, but I'm not the only one who trains, so I can't say I'm responsible for it, but we train every artist that we have, and I think the experience in the past helps us to be able to train them in the right direction.
Lynx Entertainment is one of the enviable record labels that any artist would like to be signed onto. What do I need to have, or who should I be before I can be signed onto the label?
For now, Mom, dear, we go on break. But
you've gone on break.
Yes.
From signing artists.
Commercial break.
After signing Dub Nation.
After signing Dub Nation.
I see.
But when we're looking for an artist, it's a combination of things. We like to find the total package. Okay, the talent, the discipline, and a marketable brand. The one that's very important to us is the discipline, because talent can be trained, brands can be created, but discipline can't be taught. So that's the most important to us.
You look at the discipline,
the talent, and then a marketable brand.
I see. Are you telling me that when it comes to the music business, the character thing that sometimes people will say it doesn't matter, to you guys at Lynx, it matters?
It matters. It really matters. It matters 100%. Everything is about character. Because when you are branding, you choose a path and you have to stay there. If you choose somebody who isn't definite, someone who can't walk the path, you end up realizing that you're creating a weak brand, and weak brands don't stand the test of time.
Among the artists signed on to the label, who has been the favorite so far?
Oh, I don't have favorites. What can
How
can a parent have favorites?
No, not you as in Richie, but then favorite for the label in terms of profitability and all that?
I think every artist has had a different shine. Every artist has a place where they are doing best. Do you get me? Like we can be called for different shows. You go to this place and this artist is getting the crowd off their feet like you wouldn't believe. You go to another place and it turns around. So to actually say which has done better, I don't think it's something like that. It's too general.
Okay.
If you ask me, maybe in UK, who's big, I can say. If you ask in Kumasi, those ones I can say. But general, it's too.
But obviously there will be that artist who will be the cash cow for the label.
Oh, they're all cash cows.
That artist we are all milking to make sure.
3.5 cash cows.
3.5.
Yes.
Who is the half?
Dub Nation is now starting the cash.
Okay.
So they are promised. Look, where their brand is going to fill in the industry. I always say, when you're creating a brand, there has to be a brand that fills a void, because nobody's looking for a type of artist we already have. So the void that Dub Nation is about to fill, there'll be a cash cow for a long time.
Is it true that sometimes there is that competition even among the artists? So everyone wants some preferential treatment.
Oh yes, true. We even from beginning we used to say we have Lynx charts. Now even in the studio, your song for hit before it goes on radio, because we always have, like, we record a lot of songs before it's released. So the songs in the studio, if your song is not preferred in the studio, then it means how will the public ever like it? So yes, there's always friendly rivalry. Yeah.
How do you solve it? Maybe when you guys observe that really and truly this is what is happening between that artist and the next artist, how do you solve it?
I think it's just conversations. You just let people understand, because one thing about our industry too is everyone has their time. And I don't even mean that as an error. I mean, in a span of 1 to 2 months, it's this artist's time to shine. Then it's the next one's time to shine. So you need to let everyone understand that, look, we're working on this person's project now. Everything is about them. But your project starts in 3 months. In 3 months' time, you're back on top again. So don't let it upset you when, you know, now all the calls and all the messages are towards this person. It goes around.
So it might be maybe Kiddy's time today, but then if you can also take your time tomorrow, it will become Eugene's time. Alright, so his name is Richie Mensah, CEO of Lynx Entertainment. This is just a warm-up into our conversation where we decided to know his business around Lynx Entertainment and more. The main business of the day will be the Agenda Musica Vice President. But then that was when he saved the game with Obo and the rest.
Okay, so let's continue with Richie Mensah on what we want to do. When you were recording the game, was this day in your dream? As in today that you are looking for?
Not at all. The truth is, I actually never thought I'll be on this path. I tell people I hate politics. I hate political power, political position, all those sorts of things. It's not my thing. You get me? I'm an executive. I'm the kind of person, you give me a job and I get it done. I'm not very good at campaigning for votes and those things. What I'm doing right now is one, it's a necessity, and two, so many people have come to me and said that what I'm able to do with Lynx, they think the industry should benefit from it in general. And yes, it's true that the industry does benefit from Lynx because the success of the artists leads to other things for the industry. But the knowledge I've been able to acquire, what I've learned from so many people, I should be able to open it up so that all musicians can be able to benefit from it. So taking a position like this is a way of giving back what the industry has given to me. Because I didn't learn this in school. I learned this from the industry. So if I've been able to acquire this knowledge, I should just give it back to the industry.
But then in this song, you guys raised some realities in the entertainment business, or better still, the music business. Do you think they are still happening, or they are all gone now?
Oh, most of them are still happening. Some are solved, but most are still there. It will take a lot to rid the industry of all the bad vices that we've been living with for years, for decades actually. So I always say fixing the industry is not an overnight thing. I think that's one mistake most people do. And one thing that people do, they promise, I can solve all your problems. No, it's not possible. One step at a time. We fix one problem after the other. Sometimes there are certain problems that can't even be fixed until you fix some very small problems. So one step at a time, we'll fix everything.
But do you know, Richie, that some people doubt maybe your knowledge or experience used at Lynx might not be the same you can apply at Musiga?
Oh, that's understandable. I mean, everyone is entitled to their opinion. You see, I'm bad at campaigning. This is why I should have said, oh, no. But the truth is, I know what I know, and I think people respect what I know. So if people believe that I can contribute, I'm honored to. But it's not the kind of thing where I should now convince somebody that what I know can help them and stuff. Because truth be told, people don't even know the strategies that Lynx uses. How come we're still operating and everything? So I don't think somebody can just judge like that until they know.
Because according to them, whatever you were doing at Lynx, or you are doing at Lynx, they are based on what, and as an individual and maybe the few people around you, what you guys decide and you execute. But this is the time that you are going to be taking decisions with people who might not even have the mindset or think at the level you are thinking. That is where the difficulty is coming up.
Then in that case, they are not questioning my ability. They are questioning the ability of the general Musica. So I don't think that's a testament to me. That's a testament to them realizing that then we need more people to come and help. Do you get me? So sometimes when people say these things, I don't get it. You see, there's a bad situation. And you admit the fact that I can't change it myself. Don't say I shouldn't join. Say others should join me. Do you get what I mean? If you are saying that we need more Richies in Musica to move Musica forward, then please let's all go offer our help. I sometimes sit down and I listen to radio and I hear very intelligent artists with so much to offer sitting on radio and dissing Musica. Musica hasn't done anything, and I'm thinking, oh wait, what have you done? Like, have you offered your help? Have you tried to find a solution and Musica has turned you down? You can't sit in your house and complain. That's like the coaches at home, you know. Ghana is playing and then, oh, you should have passed the ball. If you really know how to coach, go to the Black Stars and offer your services. Don't sit at home and be couch coach. You get what I mean? So all the intelligent musicians, all those who've been able to build successful careers, all those who've been able to manipulate the industry and understand the industry, let's join up and let's fix the industry. Because when the industry gets fixed, it doesn't get fixed for one person. It gets fixed for everybody and the generations to come. We've inherited the situation right now. Doesn't mean this is what we need to leave to the next generation.
So what it means is that such commentaries do irritate you a lot.
Oh, they do.
Then I'm scared for you because it is not going to quadruple when you take up that seat.
No, you see, being irritated by something and letting it affect you are two different things. A lot of things irritate me, but at the end of the day too, that's life. Do you get me? A lot of people talk about things they don't even know about.
Okay.
And it's understandable. So it's irritating, but it won't change anything. Now Lynx crowd him never
I know. Now let's analyze Obo's administration even before they hand over to the possible winners, including yourself and other people. You have been part of it and at the same time out of it. How do you analyze their contribution so far?
I think it got some things right, per the way it's supposed to be, and then certain things too, they threw it out the window and weren't able to handle them. I don't know if it was for support or it's for the fact that they didn't prioritize certain things. But some things like structure, I think the administration really got structured down properly, because I remember Musica before war, and Musica wasn't something that was taken serious enough by the corporate bodies, by the government, by the people who on paper matter. But when Obo came to power, I think because of his mindset, it's one thing he was able to really do. Right now, when you walk into any respectable office, they respect Musica and Musica's power. They've done very well with the administration of Musica. One thing they haven't done well with is they haven't been able to earn the trust of the musician, which is also a very big problem, because Musica is only as powerful as its musicians. So when it doesn't have the trust of the musician, it's a problem. So that one they haven't done well. And I think communication as well, because there's so many things that Musica has done that nobody knows about. There are so many Musica controversies that I hear on radio, and that really isn't what the matter is. But I realize nobody's communicated the truth. So I'm thinking then it's kind of your fault. Like, you know, if you won't tell people what's happening, you can't blame them when they come up with their own rumors. So on communication too, I think they didn't do a good job. But with the job they've been able to do, we just need to continue from there, because at least now the structures are there. So we just need to be able to get more musicians to come on board and understand the fact that the real power is in the musicians. We need the musicians to be able to stand together, and when we say we want something, it's given, because it's all musicians. Let me give you an example. If right now, you know, artists aren't paid as much as they're supposed to be paid. They should be paid much more. If right now Musica goes with a petition to all the event organizers and says that pay grade A artists this amount, grade B this amount, grade C this amount, or we won't turn up, what's going to happen is the event organizers will laugh, because the artists they want on their show are probably not in Musica. So they'll say, keep your artist, we'll call, you know, our friend here to come and play. But if we had the power of all the musicians, when Musica says this, everyone has to sit up. Do you get me? It happened with the Actors Guild they formed in the States, where when they began cinema, all the actors were signed to the movie houses, to the production houses, and they were paid by salary. So no matter how big an actor you are, no matter how big your movie gets, you get the same salary. So your popularity doesn't matter. Even if people are coming to watch the movie because of you, it doesn't matter. Then they realized, no, this is not fair. The production houses were getting rich off their popularity. So they formed a guild and decided that, look, Right now, you deal with us as individuals and pay us per contract for each movie based on what we are bringing to the table. Once they did that, everything changed. Actors started becoming superstars, started getting big payments and everything. But they could do this because of collective bargaining. Musica is lacking collective bargaining. Do you get me?
So are we to consider that Richie Mensah has the solution now to all Musica's problem?
No. I always say that, I beg you, this music industry does not need Jesus Christ. Doesn't need some one savior who's come to solve all our problems. It needs the congregation to stand up. So take me like the pastor who's coming to stand in the church and say, everyone rise and let's do this together. I can't do it on my own. If I enter Musica right now and all the musicians don't help me be able to make any change, nothing will happen. We'll still be in the same situation we're in. So I'm just somebody who can be able to talk to people to let them understand that this is the time. We either act now or forever hold our peace. And I think musicians need to understand that. Like, if you are not willing to do anything about our bad instances, then sit at home and be broke. Don't go and shout out how bad things are. You notice, like, you see my reservations I just mentioned about the administration. Have you ever heard me go and talk about this before?
Maybe it's because you've not been asked.
Oh, I've been asked. But I didn't talk about it because I was doing my own thing at Lynx. I'm not solving their problem. Why am I adding to their problem? I will only talk about something if I know that I can actively do something about it. Do you get what I mean? And I think that's what we need to understand. We need to actively make things better, or keep quiet and suffer in peace.
In one of your interviews, you said that one problem that you've identified at Musiga is the fact that the administrators, those who work, the executives, are not being paid. Therefore, there is always that reluctancy when it comes to work. Now, when you also come to power, I know it is going to be like this, unless maybe Richie tells us he is going to pay the people when he gets the nod as Musica vice president. Now, it is going to be the same situation where the people are not going to pay it, and therefore they are still going to work like a bicycle. How are you going to solve this?
I wasn't saying it was a problem. I was explaining that it was a situation. I'll let them understand that sometimes
a situation that develops into a problem, I guess.
Not really, because here's the thing. Musica is not a company. Musica is not making money. Do you get me? So Musica can't afford to have people on its payroll. Now, Lynx staff is about 30 people. And our payroll every month is massive. So I'm trying to imagine Musica, which needs a much bigger, much bigger capacity than Lynx does. We're looking at like around 300 to 400 people nationwide. If Musica had to pay these people, I don't know what business that Musica will be able to do that. So I think the sacrificial nature of the Musica job is okay. But my solution for the money problem is third-party organizations. Now, there are so many organizations that are already there, and they can do the job, and they can make money from the job because they are existing companies. What they lack is the power. They lack the authority to get certain things done, and Musica has this authority. So Musica should be able to get some of these people to do it. Let me give you an example. Musica wants to organize an event, right? Now, the people working at Musica, actually, they have other full-time jobs. They can't, like the person who handles sending proposals and marketing at Musica, can't go around for 3 weeks every day going to chase sponsorship for the Musica event. So Musica will just source some small funds it gets from somewhere and do a small event. However, if Musica would partner with an event organizing company and say that, okay, this is the event Musica is supposed to do. We'll give you the full power of Musica. We'll bring the artists on board. We'll bring the industry on board. Take this event and organize it for us. Then that company will search for the sponsorship, search for everything, and be able to organize the event properly. So this is a way of outsourcing the work. Musica has the power. I don't think any musical body in Ghana has as much power as Musica does, but it doesn't have the strength to do some of these things. So you lend the power to those who have the strength to do it. Do you get what I mean? So let's say the communication error that Musica has. It's because Musica doesn't have anyone on the payroll who handles communication.
Okay.
So an event is finished, right? And everybody goes home to go and sleep. Maybe the event was Sunday night. Monday morning, he has to go back to work. He doesn't have time to write article, push it out, those kind of things. So the next thing you see, a journalist who is actually being paid to work and they are working efficiently comes to the event and they will put out an article, but that article may not be the correct information.
May not be favorable to Musica.
Exactly. And then that's the article that goes out, and sometimes it can be very sad. Look, I've even learned this thing the hard way. It's like, what do you call it? It's how Chris Waddle complained about the fact that the media
bloggers are not helping him and all that.
Yeah, but he didn't invite the bloggers. Sometimes we need to understand this. Everybody is working. When we did the Rockstar concert in Kumasi, we took media people to Kumasi because we wanted people to hear about the concert in the morning. We didn't want a case where we've gone to Kumasi, then we're now coming back to Accra, then we're now going to, oh, this is the footage. No, we wanted them to hear about it when it was happening. So we took them there. So Musica should be able to empower people. So Musica should be able to empower the media. Maybe pick a media house or 2 media houses and say, okay, we want you guys to handle all our communication. So all information comes through you. Press statements, interviews, you guys will be favored on everything. And in return, you also put out the information when we need to. This means that now any Musica wahala, you are getting the traffic, and at the same time too, we are getting the right music information out. So power to the people.
I see Richie Mensah here, my special guest today on a Tuesday morning, talking about Musica, his vice presidential ambition and all. Now, are you going to drop the Lynx business or activities when you get a nod finally?
Oh no, not at all. Because I think Lynx, where Lynx is right now, the Lynx team is very strong. The team needs supervision and not micromanagement. So once we implement plans and everything, I'm sure most media people know, you don't see me at interviews, you don't see me at shows, so it's not like the job is going to drain all my attention away from Musica. And in the same way too, like I said, it's not going to be this one man fixing Musica. It's all of the team working together. So Musica is not going to take all my attention away from Lynx.
Okay, thank you. Now let's go into the books. What is the real manifesto Richie is putting on the table for assessment? What are the issues in there?
Okay, it's 3 things. 1, bridging the gap. Okay, so like I mentioned about collective bargaining, my main agenda is to be able to bring in all the relevant musicians, all the current musicians, those who are actively doing music and benefiting from music. Let them understand how Musica can benefit all of us if we're able to elevate it. What you realize is, most of the time, when you have current artists and relevant artists, and they are making their money on the side and everything is cool, they don't think about Musica. Gamro is like, these things cry, no they need. When their careers start going down and things start drying up, then they realize, oh wait, if we had put systems in place, I won't be hungry now. Then they want to get involved in fixing the industry. I need everyone to understand that no, you need to act while you are on top. Do you get me? That's the only time you can make a real difference. It's like this analogy I always have. A sensible person walks into a crowded room where they are making noise, and he says the most sensible thing in the world. Nobody hears them because the room is crowded. They're talking top of their voices. Then some idiot enters after him, and everybody stops, turns, looks at him, and then he insults all of them. And they all heard the idiot. So what people have to realize is that sensible person should have walked into the room and done this. Then they'll all stop. Then he'll talk. A lot of people try and feel that we don't need to get the attention of people before we can put our message across. But it's when you have people's attention that you can put your message across. So the artists who are making it now, this is when you can sit on radio and talk about the issues that matter, and it will matter. Like if an artist who hasn't released a hit song in 5 years comes to sit on radio and talks about Payola, nobody will even write about it. We'll be like, oh, Masa, you know, if you come out it, you won't come talk to Payola. But if right now an artist who just released a hit song 2 months ago comes to talk about Payola, you get it that this is not coming from a spiteful place. This is coming from a place of actual concern. I need all of them to come in. That's my first agenda.
But let me ask you this before you move on to the second agenda. Now that it is also obvious that some of the artists think that Musiga is a welfare body for the aged, more or less. Musiga is more concentrated on the aged. What are the things really, the details you're going to put in to make sure you get the Shatawales, the Stone Boys, and the Sarkodias, even your own kiddies and Kwame Eugenes to be paying attention to the day-to-day activities of Musiga?
Musiga is what you make it. Now, when you go to Musica right now, the majority of musicians in Musica are old. Majority of them are older than the current generation. And Musica has to care for its members. So when the young people aren't in Musica, how do you put in place things to benefit the young people? Do you get what I mean?
But maybe that will also be the bait to get them.
No, but you see, that's the thing. What people don't understand is Musica is a union. We shouldn't need bait. Are you trying to say that Nat and Nagrat and TUC need baits to catch teaching together and fighting for what we want? Musica shouldn't be campaigning for members. Musica is a union of musicians. So all the musicians should stand together, and then programs can be put in place to help every type of musician. But let me ask you a question right now. So you are the president of Musica, and you are organizing Grand Ball. And Grand Ball is going to raise funds that will help musicians. Then now you look at your Musica membership, and 70% of your membership is, let's say, over 40. And the other 30% are, and even the 30%, most of them are artists who aren't currently practicing music as effectively. Who would you let the Grand Ball benefit?
If I'm looking for money and I know the young people will get me the money, I will go always to make sure I convince them.
No, but the Grand Ball is making money to benefit Musica members. It's already the program making money to benefit Musica members. So now when the money comes, do you benefit your members who are already in and staying loyal to you?
Oh, okay.
Or do you now go and try and convince somebody who's outside that, I get some money, come and take it? Do you think that's right? As opposed to the person who has been contributing to make sure that Musica succeeds for so long. So we need everybody to come, so that then now when you build a program, let's say we started a project called Future Project, which is helping up and coming artists and is supposed to help build them. Now, when we build this project, we had to force this project to happen. Do you know why? Because most of the upcoming artists aren't even in Musica. So we had to force the project to happen and then convince them to join Musica. Do you get what I mean? So until we all come on board, certain projects can't really happen. Do you get what I mean? You can't, it's like Chris Brown said, how are you going to hate from outside the club?
Okay.
Get in. Then when you get in, you can say that DJ changed the music. But you can't be standing outside the club and complaining that this club says they are playing this music. Get in the club first.
See. Okay, maybe when you get a note finally, I'm sure you would have your way out because you are very close to some of them. Let's see how it pans out. Now, point 2. The first one is to bridge the gap between those who are doing active music and the union. What is the point 2 on your manifesto table?
The point 2 is this matter. I raised it in 2008 at a forum. I remember it was about digital streaming, and I mentioned the fact that very soon the world will reach $20 billion a year from music sales online. We've passed. Right now, the world is making more than $20 billion a year. How much is Ghana making? How many platforms do we have in Ghana that can even make money online? It's only Uptown. Do you get me? So you have artists having to put their music on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, and these people don't favor Ghanaian payments. So you release your song, it's out digitally, and the only places that can be bought is difficult for the normal Ghanaian to buy, which is why it's up for free download. Trust me, there's no website in the world, there's no website in Ghana that is putting music out for free download because they want to. It's because it's their only choice. Because if you are running your website and Kwame Eugene's new song gets 300,000 downloads in a week. And I told you that you can have people pay 50 pesos every time they downloaded it, which means 150,000. And I'll give your website 10% of this money, which means you make 15,000 Ghana from Kwame Eugene's song hitting. Would you say no? So the people who are putting music out for free, it's because that's the only way the fans can get it. Artists send their music to the free websites because their fans need to hear it. These days, when you give someone a CD, they don't know where to play it. Cars don't even have CD players again. It's all pen drive. So you can't get your CD around. It has to be digital. You can't go from house to house pen drive copying to people. Gone are the days that when people play on radio, they record onto cassette. So right now, the only way of getting your music around is digitally. So if people can't buy it, then give it out for free. We need to move the world. We need to move Ghana forward digitally. We've already started making some strides. We did one of two things. The first one was Musiga internally. We built a Musiga app, which right now anybody anywhere can register online with the Musiga app. Once you register online, you pay via mobile money. The only time you even need to go to the office is when you have to go and pick up your card. After that, any information, any notification comes direct into the app. If it's time to pay dues, you get into the app. If it's time for a meeting, you get the notification in the app. Musica is doing a program, you get the notification in the app. So it moves it forward. So now people all over can register for Musica easily. Okay. And also it solves a lot of internal problems that Musica has been having. Do you get me? Like one problem when you speak to most Musica people, they have is that, you know, when you register per region. And sometimes when you register for the region, and you go and pay to, let's say someone will come from Kumasi and come and register in Accra, then now National has to give the Ashanti region's percentage back to them. That region now, that percentage now is small. Now they'll say they're going to use transportation, like big problems. You have so many problems of the money not getting to them in time, all those kind of things. Now with the app, the moment you register, because it's digital, it's split instantly. Percentage goes to where it needs to go, because you go around Ghana and you realize that the regional musicians are really suffering because they don't have the power that National has to be able to get some funds and all those sorts of things. So it's very difficult for them to maintain the office and all that kind of stuff. So these monies, they need these monies to survive. So getting it instantly will really change things. Okay. And then we also built a Ghana Music Live app, which is a portal that has everything Ghana music in there. So it syndicates articles from the biggest websites. It's has music videos from YouTube. So once your video goes up on YouTube, it's generated and put over there. It has,
as a member.
Not as a member, this is for Ghana music in general. Okay. So this one is an app for everywhere in Ghana, so that we have one portal that you can find anything music related for Ghana. Do you get me? So it's acting as a portal, so it's taking it from all the websites everywhere and putting it in one place, because sometimes people complain that finding information can be a bit difficult. It has charts based on the algorithms that have been created these days, so authentic radio charts and everything. So when you wake up and you're looking for anything music, it's in one place. So the next step is to be able to create a financial payment solution whereby people can now buy music online and also stream music online. And just like the portal, it's going to be a portal that every website can use. So not trying to create some one thing that one person can sit somewhere and benefit from. No, create something that it can be embedded into any website and every website. So now when you go to every website to download a song, when you click, then it will just tell you the amount. You either pay with mobile money or you pay with your credit directly or card. Like, they should have all the payment systems so that it's easier for Ghana. iTunes, you can't pay with mobile money, Charlie.
So these are the three main pointers Richie is bringing on board when giving the note.
That's the second one.
That's I thought the third one was what you just explained.
No, that's the digital. It's all digital.
Okay, now to the very final one.
To the very final one, I need everybody to do this. I want the country to have a 10-year development plan. I want us to be able to sit down with all the stakeholders in the industry and identify all the problems that we face, because I think everyone has a piece of the puzzle. Everyone knows the problems they are facing on their end. Like if I talk to you, you'll tell me the problems that media is having. I remember when sometime I was talking about Ghanaians supporting Ghanaians more, and the person thought I was talking about artists should support DJs. Hey, DJs should support artists. Then they said, yeah, but the artists too, when we play their music, they don't tweet. And I said, no, I actually mean everybody, because the media people also have problems with artists. Artists aren't supporting media enough. So put everybody together. Let's draw up a roadmap that these are the problems that need to be fixed no matter what. Then let's identify solutions and work towards them one step at a time. Let's stop the notion that we can fix everything instantly, because the problems are too many. So we sit down and we look at it. Okay, this one we can solve in 3 months. By solving this one will be solved in a year's time. Then gradually, over 10 years, we can know that we've taken the industry to the next level.
See, do you believe in Musiga working closely with government to be able to make all these achievements, or what the objectives you have come through?
I believe in Musiga working with everybody. I believe that government will work with music more when government sees that we've got our act together. I remember something that a minister said some time back in 2008. The minister said that we have to understand something. Every day they're getting petitions. They're getting petitions to build more hospitals because people are dying. They're getting petitions to build schools because people aren't being educated. They're getting petitions for food because people are starving. And they're getting petitions to help the music industry and help the creative industry. How do we expect them to prioritize us when we can't even prioritize ourselves? Because when they get petitions from farmers, they will come with a plan. Help us build this number of farms. This is how much revenue is going to bring over this amount of time, blah, blah, blah. An actual plan. But musicians come with, oh, help us, and no plan. So how do they prioritize help us with no plan for the creative arts over feeding people who are dying? So what we need to do is we need to be able to let everyone understand, look, California, which is the entertainment state of US, brings in a higher GDP than Texas, which is the oil state of US. So entertainment right now is the highest earner in the world. Well, no, right now it's tech.
Okay.
Tech beats everything.
I see.
But when you leave tech, it's entertainment. If we would let the government understand this, trust me, if the government understood the power of royalties and copyrights, how much money, how much taxable money is going to come in when royalties and everything are fixed, they would definitely be helping us solve these problems. But right now, it just sounds like a bunch of people shouting out that I want to make money. It sounds so individualistic. In the UK, they've taken royalties to the next level. Now, when a song is played, you know how they charge networks, right, for when they are playing music, like maybe like an MTN
the
music
color,
plus
ringtone, and all that.
Yes. Now they've taken it a step further. So when I'm watching a music video on my phone, I'm using airtime to watch music, which means the network is also contributing to the music. So now they charge royalties for the usage of the network.
Okay.
That's the next level. Which means now that...
So for instance, if you are an MTN, you are going to also pay royalties to
Thank you.
the music union.
Thank you. And which is all taxable income for the government. Is that if we could break some of these things down and let the government see how beneficial it will be to the entire nation, they would help us solve it. But they're not going to get up and come and solve it for us.
All right, maybe he's the man with a vision. So if you are listening to me, let's see what we can also do to support him, get a nod, and after that we will take it from there. Now let's calm down a little bit. Between Besa and Rascal Bapia, who is your friend?
Oh, they are both friends. Please, I don't want to use my voice to sway. I beg.
No, I'm asking because you're going to be in the office with these, either one of these people, and the level of friendship can even contribute to how fast work will go. That's why I asked this.
I have a preference, but I believe in fair game. I don't want to use my voice to sway people in one direction. So I know I have a preference.
No, the person being your friend doesn't mean he should win.
No. Sami pa. You know, when I say friend, no, I'll still campaign for the person.
Oh, okay. So what does it mean? If your preference doesn't win, what happens to you and your relationship with that person?
Oh, it will be sad, because it means, like, you know, when you work with somebody you can understand, it's easier. Do you get me? It will be sad, but
Will it carry a vim in a way?
oh, vim shouldn't be killed like that.
I know. Now, looking at the position you are about carrying, I want to know your view on this. Do you think Shatta Wale and Stonebwoy were fairly penalized by Charterhouse?
Yes, I do. Okay, I'm so happy that Shatta and Stonebwoy have buried the hatchet. But what they did at the VGMA was wrong. They were penalized for what they did. Do you get me? It's like, if today I come and I commit a crime to you, and the court is like penalizing me for it, and then later you and I make up, so we are okay, I think the court will still continue, because what I committed was a crime. So people should stop seeing it as though Shatta and Stonebwoy were being penalized for beefing. No, because they've been beefing for a long time. So many artists are beefing and none of them have been penalized before. They were being penalized for inciting violence in a crowd on live TV. This was televised in so many countries, in 48 countries in Africa. This was talked about on BBC. Daily Mail talked about Ghana Music Awards for the first time and was in a negative light. So right now, people in UK who've never heard about Ghana or Ghana Music Awards, the first thing they are hearing is that two of our topmost artists fought on stage and a weapon was pulled out. So this was very bad for our industry, was very bad for the award scheme. So their punishment is for what they did.
Okay.
Them coming together and everything, that's beautiful. That affects future business. But what they did that day was bad. And me, I believe in accountability. If I do something and is wrong, tell me and I will be held accountable for it. If we don't allow every leader in the industry, and every artist needs to remember, they are leaders, because you have millions of people who are following you. When an artist wears their clothes a certain way, people start wearing it that way. We all walk like Pusha in the days. You get what I mean? We all do a certain slang because an artist is doing it. So when you do certain things, especially in public, you are responsible for those actions, and you must be held accountable.
Now, I have one fear with the position you are going for, and maybe today I would want you to convince me that it will not happen. Looking at how disciplined you are with your job, I am scared that maybe when you get a nod and some things start going the way that you don't want it to go, you are likely to resign.
Oh, I hope not. I'm disciplined, and I think my discipline means that I will do the best possible to make sure things go the way they are supposed to go. Not the way I want them to go, but the way they are supposed to go. Because it's like this Shatta and Stone instance. They're both my friends. So it's sad to see them punished. But I believe in discipline. I have my own artists, when they step out of line, are disciplined. I don't quit on the artist. I rather discipline you, and it's like a parent disciplining a child. It doesn't mean I've abandoned you. Like I heard certain people say those kind of things, that Musiga abandoned Shatta Wale and Stonebwoy. No, they didn't abandon them. It's your child has done something, and you say no TV for 2 weeks. That's a punishment. You are still friends with your child. So I don't believe in quitting. I believe in making things right.
All right, I'm happy to know this. That I have called Arnold Mensah Levanyo, Chief Charles. I believe Richie Mensah has said a lot. And if you guys have any contribution or a question, you can also put it through as we wrap up. He has other duties for the day.
Yes, I mean, excellent. I mean, if you're somebody who has known Richie over the years, you know that, when he takes up a position, he delivers. So for me, I don't have no doubt about his ability and how he does his work. However, Richie, Uncle Mensah was here. Now he gave us everything that he would want to do when he becomes the president. Now I asked him, why were they not able to do it when Obo was there? Because he was part of the administration. If they did not buy into his idea, it means that he had the vision, but the president never bought into the idea because he wasn't the president. You are going to be in a similar position because you are not going to be the president who is going to take, all the final decisions. So definitely you have all the ideas, excellent presentation, but they would have to buy into your idea before all these things will work. What if they don't? What are you going to do?
Okay, I think one thing people need to understand about Musica is the fact that I think we overhype the power of the president. Musica is not an autonomy. It's not a dictatorship. Every decision that Musica takes is voted on by two bodies. They are both, funnily enough, called NEC. One is the National Executive Committee and one is the National Executive Council. Okay. So one is a committee of the executives who work in Musica. So that one comes up with the ideas, they battle it out, throw all the ideas around, and then it's taken to the council, which is all the regional executives then have a meeting and decide, okay, let's work on this one, let's work on that one. So the president actually has one vote, just like everybody else. So the president may be the leader, but the president can't dictate what happens. So if an idea wasn't done in Musica, it's not because the president shut it down, it's because the person who brought the idea couldn't back it up enough. Do you get me?
Okay.
So it's like, but if I go to Musica right now and I'm not able to convince them of the benefits of digital, it won't be done, whether the president backs it or not. So it's up to you who's bringing the idea to do your research and show people. Do you get me? So even this Musica app, when we came up with the idea for the Musica app, the first rejection that we got was it will be too expensive because they had tried to do a Musica app before and the person charged them too much. And we said, don't worry, we'll use our Lynx influence. We know somebody to give us a massive discount. So we said, okay. Then they said, but this whole digital thing, blah, blah, blah. We said, we showed them, we gave them assurances that we could get it done. And we know you tried it before and it couldn't be done because of these reasons, but we can get it done because of these reasons. And they said, okay, go ahead. If you can do it, do it. And we did it. So in the past, it had been tried, but the person who tried didn't fight hard enough for it. You get what I mean?
Okay, so, well, it's good. In 2009, when Obo was coming, we had a lot of discussions before he came.
Yeah.
I believe people change when they get power. So maybe, what's the years of the mandate? 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
4 years.
Yeah.
So after 4 years, we'll be here to judge it.
Richie, I hope in the near future you don't make Musica a Lynx property.
Oh, it can't be a Lynx property. Musica belongs to the whole industry. And
because when it is obvious from where we stand that you are someone with ideas and maybe the people you have been thinking with, they are your guys at Lynx, and you guys start controlling affairs from Musica, automatically Musica becomes a Lynx property.
The funny thing is the people I think with are the entire industry. That's one thing that really helps Lynx. Like Lynx has grown so much because our ideas don't just come from within. There's certain things that, like, maybe certain songs are released because certain media people said this song will do better than the other songs. Do you get what I mean? So the think pool is very big. It's not just Lynx. And I think one thing people are afraid of is that Lynx will use Musica. But people should realize the fact that Lynx has been able to survive on its own for a very long time and is doing very well. So they should rather see it as Musica can use the connections that Lynx has been able to build to enter certain places. Because Lynx is a record label. All Lynx needs is for our artists to keep doing well. And Musica doesn't handle promotion. Musica doesn't handle shooting music videos. Musica doesn't organize events that Lynx will come and play at. So really, it's rather what we've learned that we can use to benefit Musica rather, not the other way around.
Okay, thank you, Richie. Yes, Chief Charles, your question contribution, and after that we do a note.
Yes, boss.
Very well spoken and lettered young man.
Thank you.
Contrary to he's saying that he doesn't campaign, he doesn't like anything that is electoral where you need to campaign or canvass for votes. I think he does that very excellently.
Nice.
Perhaps you should add it to your CV. However,
Chief, I'm sure you are saying this here. I saw one tweet here that reads that Sammy, see the way he did talk nice. He'll get there and his stomach will be bigger than Obo's stomach.
My stomach is not come already, sir.
Okay, continue.
However, when you're outside of the body of Musiga, there is a certain brick wall that needs to break down. You guys at the helm of affairs need to be able to demystify the workings of Musiga.
Very true.
1. 2, contrary to what you seem to assert, that the leader just has one vote like everyone else, I think by experience that when the leader of the musician union rises to become the leader, all power is reposed and invested in him, and he has too much power to call the shots, because really you're the vice. We're not going to vote on you based on your manifesto or on your ideas, but the one who comes up to you, the leader, isn't it? So
we're going to vote for him too.
Absolutely, but
yeah.
For instance, if Besa or Raskuku, Raskaleb becomes the
Musiga president,
his manifesto is basically what we work with, isn't it?
No, that actually doesn't work like that. Okay. So let me, for instance,
clarify something. Okay, clarify.
One thing people should know about Obo is very good at convincing. So if what Obo is saying is being taken at a meeting, is because he convinced them. Okay. Not because he shut them down.
Obviously.
Yes.
Obviously not. So he's able to convince people to toe his line of thinking and ideas.
Exactly.
Finally, I think that you guys sound so sweet, and you tend to convince us that it is a normal thing. If you want to help, don't stay outside, come inside. But we all know that there's a cabal.
No, there isn't.
And there's no way you are going to accept that, but there is a cabal.
So my part of the cabal?
I'm coming.
No one invited me to the cabal.
There is a cabal that graduates people who get on the inside to
high positions.
High position, so that there is a constant patriarchy, so that people are shielded. Okay, so for instance, the next person who becomes the president, whatever Obo did, as were the previous leaders, it doesn't seem to me that there is accountability. So whether Sidi Kubari did something wrong or right, Diana Hope Singh
come and cover up,
and everything is back to business as usual. Perhaps whoever comes to win, whatever Obo did right or wrong, is immaterial. Business as usual. So that's what I'm saying, that you need to demystify the musician, because we're on the outside.
This is how it seems.
Let
me show you one thing. I think people really misjudge Obo, because Obo has actually done one thing that shows that he's being very transparent. Because before Obo's time, Musica elections was only held by delegates. They selected about 200 people out of all Musica, and those people would vote for those who come into office, which meant it was actually very easy. Because when you have 200 people and you know it's these 200 people, it's easier to convince them that, vote for this person so that we continue things. But in Obo's administration, they voted and changed this. So this is the first time ever that all of Musica is voting. So now the only way to be able to convince the people that vote for this person is by making all of Musica believe it, because now it's no longer the select few. Every musician with a card, any registered musician, is voting. So there's if there was a cabal, I didn't know about it.
Okay.
I wasn't invited in it.
Or the cabal is no more.
Or the cabal is no more.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't come and meet the cabal, but me, I don't see cabal before. The only cabal I know is in Mortal Kombat. He holds to.
Okay.
Finally,
finally, go ahead.
I believe in Richie. I believe he's been able to, attain certain success with Lynx, and that which is given, if he's given the opportunity to replicate at Musiga, whether you think he's going to hijack Lynx is going to hijack Musiga or not, for me, I think that even if that happens, it will be for good and not for the bad, because look, piano, he's exemplified success at his personal level, and I believe that if we even give him the opportunity. For me, I see it as his rise to the top position. Take it from here. Don't let the frustrations get to you.
Okay.
Keep your head above the water. If perhaps tomorrow you are able to rise to the top, maybe we'll be able to implement all these changes and we'll see something better. Because for now, the Musicians Union can't bite.
Thank you so much, Chief Charles. And Jabril, thank you so much. Jabril thinks that Richie is so secretive, and therefore when he even gets the note, there are some things he will not share, but that's okay. It is him. He decides to do what he wants to do. Yes, Arnold, you are the final person to ask the questions, and we'll wrap up.
Save the best for last.
I know.
No, actually the worst.
Submarine, I know.
Sammy, I think beautiful presentation coming from Richie. I wish he was part of the presidential level, so that there will be 3. I've told you the 2 there.
He says he wants to grow small.
He wants to grow small. And part of it. 3 would have been okay for the top, because Bessa, part of the old administration, Ras Caleb Levite, also part of the old administration. At least a third person who
Richie himself part of it.
Richie himself part of it.
Technically, I wasn't elected.
But still, you had some contributions to do in there. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, you didn't know, huh?
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know. You see, he has his own agenda he wants to push based on the things he has outlined. We going digital, making it more attractive, getting people to get inside and also contribute what they can to make the union what it has to be. Have you been able to go through the manifestos of the other 2 aspiring candidates for the presidential level?
Yes, I have.
So you are very much in tune with that.
Yes.
Are there any differences between theirs and yours?
Oh yeah, lots of differences.
So this is where I feel the vice and the one going for president position should have one joint manifesto, so that whoever becomes the president has his vice tagging along with one voice.
Yeah, that's how it used to be.
Why did they change it? Because that to me would have worked perfectly, because you have a whole beautiful manifesto as you've put out. Now, to those who would vote, someone could actually fall in love with your manifesto and not the president's own, and will still vote for you as vice and not support what the president is bringing, because perhaps his either sounds light or porous. But if you are together and you pick 2 from yours, pick 1 from his, or you pick 2 from his and pick 1 from, and you put it together, you don't have one strong document that you could market, get people to vote for you, buy into the idea, and it will make execution very smooth. But you're dealing with 2 people who are supposed to be working together, but with 2 different agenda. It's quite difficult sometimes. You would definitely want to leave office pushing as many as possible coming from your end. The president will also want to leave office pushing, in fact, as many as possible, because if he wants to go again for a second term, he would have to do more in the first term. So when will he take time to listen to yours? Yes, you said he doesn't. It's not autocratic where you say you have to.
He doesn't veto.
Yes, but that's just that's just for the saying. I mean, that's just for the saying, because if you get on the ground, technically, when he gets there, he will definitely have a way to get his going through. There's no way Obo's ideas will always be shut down. Then he's not the president. If you can't get your decisions, if you can't get your ideas to be made possible, why are you there as a president anyways? No matter what it is, there will be times they will vote, there will be times you will badge, but there will be times you will force.
You will veto.
Yes.
Say let it happen.
Yes, and it has to happen, because at the end of the day, the vice is not going to be the one to give accounts to the people. It's the president all the time, and I don't see how happy he would be telling them everything he has achieved is what actually came from the vice. He won't do that. He would want his to be achieved so that the people would see him as the right person to be voted for again, should he want a second term. So this whole thing of vice having his own idea, president having his own idea, and now you have two people vying for presidency, and you have two on the side for vice president, but the vice president must know what the two people have. Even whether he accepts it or not, he must just know, because any of them could become his boss.
And the vice even has a favorite.
And the vice has a favorite too. You know, this whole thing of separate, I don't know if it's separation of manifesto or separation of ideas. It should be married.
Separation of powers.
Separation of powers. Well, so that if I am coming as a president, I decide who I would want to come with. We come with one document, we push it. Mr. Simon comes with his, they push it, so that whoever wins, you are hitting the ground running straight. You don't have to now sift between what the vice has, what he also have, to see which one will be best for the people. You can have a lot of the voters actually vibing to what the vice has, even more than the president. When it happens like that,
I completely understand you. I think this was decided against, and the reason kind of made sense, because you see, because of the way Musica is, you know, like government has a lot more people when it comes to voting and decision making and everything. So even if you have one party in power with president and vice president, it's not as bad. But the way Musica is, the power is within just a few people. So if you have those few people all thinking in the same direction, the time that direction is wrong, it means your entire leadership is headed in the wrong direction. So there are reasons for splitting the power where and it's not just president, vice president, secretary is standing on their own, treasurer is standing on their own, organizer is standing on their own. That reason is so that these people are there to lead, but all have individual minds. So when something is put on board, somebody's not going to say yes just because I support this president no matter what. It's not political. It's now based on your individual opinion. So when you see something coming from the neck, you understand that, okay, if this thing was voted for, it's because it was defended properly and not because the person who said it has the back end. You know what it's like sometimes when things are political and you know that, oh, the party in power has more people, so you know those kind of things. So it was to prevent that. And about the president taking shine for what the vice president would do, I'm not in this for shine. I think people know that about me. My artists do interviews all the time. My artists go on the biggest stages. How many times do you guys see me do interviews? How many times do you guys see me out collecting shine? Like, people come at events and I'm swerving the camera. That person is actually very right. I'm a very private person. I believe in being in my own corner. The only thing I believe in is the work being done.
Execution.
So if I get the work done, and the president needs to take that for his campaign, I don't really mind, because I'm not in Musica to get some name. I'm in Musica to fix things. So it doesn't really matter who is given credit for it being fixed, as long as it's fixed.
I mean, not necessarily taking your shine per se. He won't even do yours for him to take the shine, because he would have to push his agenda. So he takes the shine for himself. He won't love to get on the platform and talk about things that you brought on board. Into and that's where the danger is. So you have brilliant ideas that I think should materialize, but because the president might not want to do that, he will stick to his. Perhaps one musician, one guitar, or musicians and their farms and all that. And you have brilliant ideas as well. Maybe moving forward, you should find a way to match some of them, because when you now parallel, it's not dangerous.
I think one thing we should also realize is some of these things that I say I want to get done. And if you notice from the kind of things I say, I'm not over promising. I'm only promising things that I, Richie, know I can deliver. So that even in the case where the president is shutting an idea down, so I say I'm bridging the gap, I'm bringing on board the right musicians. I don't need the president's authority to go and talk to a musician and let them understand Musiga.
Right.
You get me? When I say we are going to build an app, I don't need the president to come and sit with me and the app developer.
But would that be your money or Musica's money?
Even up till now, there are so many things I've done with my money to help Musica.
Because that's fair enough.
There are so many things that you suggest, and you went, okay, let me give you something. Maybe I shouldn't even be saying this on radio, but this Musica app that we built, for instance, we know one of the biggest problems that we're going to face is a lot of members who are not using smartphones, who can't download the app and still want to go to the office and go and register. When they get to the office, they will have to have a place to register it. And then if there's no executive there with a smartphone, it's a problem. So we actually got tablets for each region.
Wow.
So that they can all have the app on it. So now when you go to the regional office, there's a tablet there with the app on it. They can register for you. Musica couldn't have come up with this budget. It would have been too difficult. And waiting for this would have delayed the app being done. So we did this.
Yes, so I'm sure with your money coming on board, they will accept most of the things. Yeah, the one who controls the funds. He has the final say.
So me perhaps just a last follow-up question.
I am doing the last question, then you close the day for me.
Okay.
Our time is up. Now, Richie, are you impressed with Musica's head office, the current office? Are you impressed with it?
Oh, the head office, for instance, you see, it's one of the bad communication things. I'm not impressed, but the head office is there for a reason. Now, the head office was given to Musica by the government, by past two administrations, okay? And then they've been told the government is doing a marine drive in that area. So they're about to collapse all those. So the government has explained to them that since we are forcing you to relocate, we will give you a new office. So don't touch this building. Don't do anything because in a few months we will change it. But they said this a long time ago and they still haven't changed it yet.
Yeah.
So the problem right now is, do you take Musica funds, renovate the office, and then next month they say we are breaking the office down. You need to set up your new
drive project.
Exactly. So the problem is, yes, the office isn't good, but you can't fix something that you're about to lose.
Does it mean Musica is just not putting much pressure on government to deliver on their promise?
The last meeting they had, they revealed the pressure they are just given the last week. They're given pressure, but the government too is doing a big project, and they can't say that they will rush the project just because of Musica. So despite the fact that they promised, the government too will only make this happen when it can happen. So the only way Musica can actually get something done is if somebody is bold enough to say, let's not wait for the government. Let's take a risk and invest money in something else. But where does the money come from? People think Musica has money. They don't get to.
Okay. Thank you, Richie. I'm sure we wish you well. And Chief, you wanted to say something?
I wanted to say that speaker after speaker, those who are vying for positions at the Music Union seem to paint a picture that the union is so broke, just as you alluded to.
Yeah. But if I don't challenge, don't let us argue that.
No, I'm not challenging.
It will be broke until we give them money.
I'm not challenging or,
arguing.
But it seems that they still want the job for a job that doesn't pay. What's the motivation?
The motivation is, so fixing Musica fixes all of us. It's like I mentioned right now, Kwame Eugene, 300,000 downloads, 150,000. That's money that we are not making because nobody has fixed that. If I can use Musica to fix that, that's a lot of money that Lynx is making.
Okay.
So we are fixing the industry so that we can all get rich. It's like, look, this is my time come to say cry. Look, there's a producer. In the year that you people write articles.
No, this is for information.
There's a producer. In the year that he produced 3 massive hits, he told me about how he had signed to Gamro, okay, and he got a call that his royalty check had come in, so he should come and pick it up. So he was excited, and this producer lives in Tema. Yeah, I'm going to guess who it is.
Okay.
And he said, oh, okay, so I'm coming for it. Then they asked him, where do you live? Then he said, Tema. The person said, do you have a mobile money number? He said, why? He said, the money is 40 Ghana. So by the time you buy fuel and drive to Tama,
40 Ghana how?
So now this
400 Ghana or 40 Ghana?
40 Ghana.
400,000 old car.
Because don't forget, the producer is getting a percentage of what the artist is getting.
I see.
So if we can fix things, it means this producer will now be making much more money. So now when I call him, if I win and I call him and I say, Charlie, come, let's go and meet and fix the royalties, he will come not because he cares about Musiga, but because he doesn't want to get called for 40 Ghana again. You get what I mean?
Okay. It is all well. Richie, we wish you well. We wish you well. It is our hope that you succeed. Because when you succeed, like you said, if the industry becomes very independent and they start generating their own money, all of us around it, we are also going to make our own money some way, somehow. We only pray that when you get there, you wouldn't face so much troubles and difficulties for you to even get frustrated. We are praying for you.
If I'm getting frustrated, I'll come and tell you first.
Thank you so much. Now there are so many people who want to know about Miss V's whereabouts, but I know that you are saying she is on a hibernation for personal reasons.
Yes.
So maybe you have to tell them how long she will take.
Well, how long I can't say. That one.
But is it not affecting business? Because
it is, but that's our business. Our business is people, so
okay.
It's the person who has to be ready.
Oh, okay. So until she is ready, the people can continue talking about it.
Unfortunately.
Because someone is pushing me. Somebody asks, "Oh, I know why she is not active now," but they still want to hear it from you.
Coming with another pregnancy rumor.
No. Pregnancy rumor. But if she gets pregnant, what is the fuss about it? She's a woman. I'm sure she has been having sex, so she can get pregnant.
So people should just relax.
Yeah. Or you are telling us she is.
I'm telling you, she's not pregnant.
Okay.